On to part 2 of 7-4 of scientific notation. Today we're going to be multiplying and dividing in scientific notation. So when it comes to multiplying with scientific notation, it's kind of like everything we've been doing. You multiply your two base numbers together. I put quotations around that because that's not the proper term, but it's what's going to help you remember. So your two base numbers, 3.5 and 7. So 3.5 times 7 gets you 24.5. So we have 24.5 down here. And then you multiply your powers. So 10 to the negative third times 10 to the fifth. When you multiply powers, you add them together. So negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Now in scientific notation, you can only have one number in front of the decimal. And remember here, this is right here is my decimal. Sorry, that got really out of control. So we need to move our decimal point over one space to the left. So if you have a big number that we're making smaller, we'll end up with 2.45 times 10 to the first in replacement of 24.5, and then times 10 squared. You can combine your 2 times 10 to whatever powers together, so you have 2.45. You're multiplying these together, so it ends up times 10 to the third. And that is your answer. When you put your answers in, they need to still remain in scientific notation. So you need to make sure that you're moving that decimal over so there's only one number in front of the decimal point. So here is another example. Let me find a calculator, okay? Multiply your bases. So 6.5 times 8.7. And you end up with 56.55. Multiply your exponents, so 12 times negative 15, and you end up with negative 3. I'm moving my decimal over to make a bigger number smaller, so I'll be at 5.655. When you move a decimal to make a number smaller, you add to your exponent. So we're at times 10. Negative 3 plus 1 will be negative 2. Voila. Down here, we have a power. So what you do is bring it to everything else. 7.8 squared is 60.84. We'll keep our times 10. And negative 4 times negative 4 squared is 16. We need to move our decimal point over 1 to make a bigger number. So you get 6.084 times 10. Since we moved it to make a bigger number smaller, we're at 17 because we add 1. So multiplication, generally you're going to be adding a number to your decimal, or to your exponent up here. Now moving on to dividing with scientific notation. Same deal. We're going to do 3.066 divided by 7.3. So you divide your bases. So 3.066 divided by 7.3 gets us 0.42. Divide our exponents. So 10 to the 8th divided by 10 to the 3rd. What you do is you subtract. So 8 minus 3 will get us times 10 to the 5th. Now we can't have a 0 in front of the decimal. It needs to be a whole number, or a natural number, sorry. So we move our decimal point 1 to the right. Now when you're making a teeny number bigger, you subtract. So we'll be at 4.2 times 10. We moved one space. It's making a tiny number bigger, so we're subtracting. So it's times 10 to the 4th. I'll do a couple more examples for you, and then you're going to be on your way. So here we've got 2.3958 divided by 1.98 to get 1.21 times 10. And we're subtracting our exponents. So 3 minus 8 will get us negative 5. Beautiful. We're done because there is a natural number in front of the decimal point. And last one for you, Divide your bases, so 1.305 divided by 1.45 to get 0.9 times 10. We have 3 minus negative 4. When you divide exponents, you subtract. Minus a negative turns into addition. So technically it's 3 plus 4, or 7. Now we have our teeny number. We need to make it bigger, so we can just put straight up 9 there from moving our decimal, times 10 to the to the 6th, because I had to subtract 1, because I went from a teeny number and made it bigger, so that's subtracting. So there's a few examples for you, and you are off to your assignment.